Hey guys, with the race for adamantium never higher, we're giving our review on Captain America: The Brave New World. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I am your boy Wanji, and always with me.
Kika T?
That's right. And as you can see, we're doing it a little bit different today. We're doing a little remote thing. So as you guys may have seen in the movie, Kika was out there helping Captain America, and damn freaking Serpent Society got to him and sliced up his knee, so he's injured right now. But he's got, I told you to take the serum, dude. I told you. You didn't want to listen.
I was chilling with my cousin Joaquin Torres, and
I
we got
mean,
the
come
same last
on.
name. See what I did?
Yeah, see, it works out. Yeah. But yeah, so we wish Geek, a speedy and healthy recovery. We hope you get better, buddy. But until then, we're going to be doing the little remote thing, which is fine. We're still going to be bringing you guys some content as promised. And as he said, yeah, today we're going to be talking about Captain America: Brave New World. If you guys have not seen this, spoiler alert, I put up the little spoiler thing in the beginning. But if you guys have not seen it, please pause and revisit the video once you've seen it. But before that, we're going to get into a bit of nerd news today. So first thing up, Marvel Studios is reportedly considering Javier Bardem for the role of Mr. Sinister in the MCU. I seen this and I could see it.
Yeah.
Javier, he's got that. Number one, he's got the voice.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got the voice down, and I've seen him play. I think he's got a pretty good range. I've seen him play like different styles of characters.
hmm
I don't see him not playing Mr. Sinister correctly.
I
I
agree.
don't. Yeah, yeah.
Strong actor, like you said, he has range.
Hmm.
Definitely have the voice down for it, and he has almost a look for it. Even though Mr. Sinister is like that white pale, face. I think there'll be some prosthetics put on him, but like just the jawline. There's a version of him with a
Yeah,
beard, and he has the beard going on right now. So I'm with it. I think it'll work out.
yeah. I think whatever they can get away with prosthetics, CGI. I mean, Vision's. They did a hell of a job on Vision's face. Some of that was practical, like prosthetics, and some of that was CGI, like layover. So yeah. All right, yeah. So we'll keep an eye out for that news. See what comes of that. Next bit of news: there's a new rumor going around that Paramount has a future live-action Transformers film in the works with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox returning, and some of the original cast also. And this is going to be some kind of like an Endgame type of movie for Michael Bay's Transformer universe, right?
Basically, yeah, it's what it seems like.
I'm with it, dude. The Transformers like movies weren't as good when Shia left, in my opinion. They were I felt like they hit. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Shia's acting or his character in it.
Yeah,
Brought more heart to the role.
a household favorite. Coming from like even Stevens and just
Yeah,
like everybody. No one did it not like Shia LaBeouf, and he had some
yeah,
good movies. And I don't know, like you said, his demeanor and the way his style of acting really drew
yeah,
you in, and him being like a teenager was kind of cool too.
yeah.
Um, Megan Fox obviously added
I
some
mean, yeah,
brownie points to that movie too.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say some boners in the audience.
No, no, no.
I was like, that she did.
Probably,
The
probably.
scene on with her like painting the motorcycle. I mean, Swing City. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah. So I hope that happens. I hope that's not just a rumor, and
I
I
hope
hope
that
that
too.
that really does happen. Because I think it'd be cool to bring him in, and then also tie in what's the Spanish actor from Rise of the Beast? He's gonna play the Hood.
Oh,
Well, his character from Rise of the Beast, I feel like maybe Shia's already part of the GI Joes. Because if they're looking to recruit the new guy,
Yeah, yeah,
why
yeah.
not have him be like the team leader of the Transformers alliance? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shia.
no, I hear you.
and then
Or
have
be
this
an
new kid be
ambassador
part
of
of
it. Anthony
right
Ramos
some
is the person you're talking.
Anthony Ramos. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Who?
who
I mean, can we talk about him for a second? Dude. This guy's coming up, man. He's getting involved, getting out there. I'm loving it. I like him as an actor a lot.
Anthony Ramos. Yeah, me too. He was
yeah
Yeah.
well. I love that he can sing too. So he's in the movie In
Can
the
he?
Heights.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know
Oh.
the Broadway play In the Heights.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
live
Yes. Yes.
adaptation of it, he did really good in that. He was in
Isn't my girl
Hamilton,
Stephanie
Mr.
Beatrice in that too?
and In the Heights.
Yeah. Isn't she in it?
Yes, 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 yes. From
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Nine
Nine.
Nine. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rosa
And she could sing. She got
Rodriguez. Yeah.
pipes in her.
Oh yeah. You want to hear a funny little interesting fun fact?
Yeah.
Originally she didn't want to try out for that movie. She didn't want to audition for it, and
Then
then
Really?
the girl who plays Amy, Melissa Fumero in Brooklyn Nine Nine,
Yeah, yeah,
she was on her ass like, no, you need to go for it. Go for this movie. She did and got it.
yeah. She
Yeah.
did great in it. Yeah, she did really good in it.
Mhm.
I think she's a good actor. We don't see
Yeah.
much more of her outside of that. You know, she's not really
Yeah.
all over the place. But I think she's
Mhm.
just humbled and just like I don't know if she really likes
Yeah.
the fame like that. She's just kind of good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A shout out to those two women. They have a podcast themselves. It's oh, I'm blanking on the name. It's like, is it something better? Or something. Check out their pod. Look up those two women. Their podcast should come up.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Another bit of news. According to a new report, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna read that one, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go. No. Go for it. Go for it.
According to a new report from Toei Animation, the animation behind Dragon Ball and One Piece, Dragon Ball finished Q3 of 2024 as the company's top earner, and also going
Yeah.
in. They're wrapping up the numbers for 2020 or for Q4 of 2024, but leading because this Dragon Ball Adama has been
Diamond. Yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah.
we got like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, we got Super Saiyan 4 Goku,
Now are they talking about like Q3 like being the quarter of the like quarterly?
43, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you know, One Piece was a close second still, because One Piece had been leading the punch for a long time because Dragon Ball
Mhm.
hasn't really been as relevant since Super.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been
Yeah.
like 7 years since Super came out. You know, so we haven't really got anything new other than a couple films here and there, like superhero, the Dragon Ball superhero one, and then Broly movie. But
Yeah.
other than that, nothing really crazy. This last one's kind of a fan
Mhm.
thing. Linda, I don't even know how to say her last name.
Cardellini.
Cardellini is in talks to
Mhm.
star as Jason Voorhees' mother in Friday the 13th prequel series. And
Yeah.
notice that it's a series, which I'm excited
Yeah.
about. So we're getting another horror series outside of the It one that we're gonna get. So I'm excited about another horror series. Ask and you shall receive. I was just saying, like we don't get a lot of these things, and I'm excited for it. Now there's another one, so I'm loving
Yeah.
that. For those that don't know who Linda is, she is Velma, or um, she's from Freaks and Geeks, and what?
Hawkeye's wife.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye's wife. Yep, yep, yep.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
she's well known actress. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I think she'll do a good job.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that series. That we're definitely gonna cover that for sure.
Agreed, agreed. But other than that, guys,
Uh-huh.
make sure you guys like, subscribe, and click the notification bell, and keep up with the latest of nerd news.
That's right. All right. So let's get into it. We are gonna be, as we said, talking about Captain America: Brave New World today. Giga, why don't you give us some of those stats?
All right, so Captain America: Brave New World, starring it's Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finding himself in the middle of a international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. So
Yeah.
opening the box office above expectations with
Yeah.
$100 million domestic, 192.4 million worldwide, second
As of
highest
today.
opening.
Yeah.
Right, second highest opening for Captain America So that's
Or
for
Captain America movie, yeah. So out of the four,
out of the four, the
what
second
was the Civil War was the highest, right?
Civil War was the highest, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Which made sense. We had news of Black Panther coming in and all the cameos that we were getting, so that makes sense that it beat it out a little bit. Um. Yeah, man. Can we just like take a moment to just breathe a sigh of relief that finally, the MCU is getting some good praise again? Especially with all these other films that are coming now and all the backlash from the trolls on the internet and
There
all.
are some people. I wouldn't say it's as like as tilted and like slided towards like not liking the movie how Craven was, because it was very radical. There was like no in between for Raven, you know.
Yeah, you either liked it or you hated it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Versus here, there's some people that are indifferent about it, like, oh, it's a good film, you know. Or some people are like, this is exactly what the MCU needed, and there are some people that
yeah.
just hated this. And I would say this was exactly what the MCU needed. It's not, by all means, not an A+ film. It's not
No,
top tier, but it's
I mean, but the first Captain America wasn't.
agreed 1,000%.
Yeah, yeah,
I would argue this could be just as good, if not maybe a bit better than the first Captain America movie. You know, um, I don't. I think there's more
yeah. I could see
nostalgia
that.
for the first Captain
Yeah,
America movie, but I think for like say our kiddos that are say our kiddos just started watching the MCU, they're gonna like this movie way more than they would Captain America one. For
yeah,
us
because.
as nerds, we love it because of
Mm-hmm,
what it set up. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
And we
mm-hmm.
knew like, oh, the Avengers are coming. Like the first Avengers here
Yeah,
is happening. But
yeah.
for the casual watchers or the new people getting involved into this universe, watching it with us, they're gonna think that this is a better movie than the first Cap movie.
Yeah, well, I think the main difference was the first Cat movie was, well, not only was it an origin story, but it was more centered around story building. You know what I mean? So like it was more trying to tell Steve's come up and why Steve is who he is and things like that. Here with this Captain America, Sam is more trying to establish that he's not Steve Rogers and this is what he wants to do and this is how he's going to go about it.
That's the
So,
origin story of Sam Wilson. When he takes on that
correct.
mantle, he doesn't he himself think he deserves it, and which is
Yeah.
exactly why he deserves it. But
Yeah.
even with that, like that's been the story for Sam Wilson as Captain America. Then
Mhm.
every comic, it's like him against
Yeah.
adversity, him not taking the serum and trying to just stand up like the regular guy.
Yeah.
Just be embody almost everything Steve Rogers did, but
Yeah.
with the overwhelming shadow of being a black man as a hero of
Yeah.
America. And
Mhm.
it's that is something I think beautifully done in the comics. I think they
Yeah.
did really good here. They didn't shove anything down your throat about like
Mhm.
that woke culture. It was a very reality based. Like there's some parts in the movie where I'm like, yeah, that's kind of crappy. Like they make some points. Especially with Isaiah. Him. Being activated the way he was, and we'll get more into that in a minute. But like, there's a lot of parts in the movie that hit some really good strings, and you're like, oh goodness, like that's tough. Like I can't imagine what it's like for a normal. Well, I hate to say this, a white American to have that on his shoulders, but now a black
Mm.
American to have that on his shoulders, and just the
Yeah.
weight, the difference in weight that they have to carry to get through, and what Sam Wilson has to bear, and so same and I love that the two main heroes in this were of color, black and brown color,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was
Mhm.
for me as a Latino, seeing another Latino up there is pretty cool to see Joaquin not Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Torres,
Mhm.
and then what's his real name?
Danny Ramirez.
Danny Ramirez. Yeah, so see Danny up there, and then Sam Wilson with Anthony Mackie. I think they both did great jobs.
I just realized two Latino superheroes we share a name. So the Falcon is Joaquin Torres, and then Blue Beetle is Jaime, and that's my middle name. So
No,
one has
nice.
your last name and one has my middle name. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, just more to speak of what you're talking about. Like, I agree 100% with everything you said, and then like, it's the things that he deals with that unfortunately Steve never had to deal with was the discrimination and was the prejudice and stuff like that. So I agree with you. I think they handled that aspect of Captain America really well in this movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, it didn't jam it down our throats. It wasn't the main plot of the movie. It was just something realistic in the plot point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was part of the dialogue in its realist form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I really enjoyed that. So the writers, we forgot to say, the director is Julius Ona.
Uh huh.
Not familiar with his work, and writers Rob Edwards, Malcolm Spellman, and Dalan Musan, I believe. IMDb rated it 6.1 out of 10. I feel like that's really low.
Yeah.
Rotten Score Tomatoes at 50%, and the audience score is at 80%. So here is what you were talking about, and I feel like the divide isn't between audience, it's between critics and audience. So critics were, like I said, we were talking about this before. I feel like critics watched a different movie because like some of the points that they were making,
For
I'm
what?
like, where, huh?
For what movie?
For this movie,
Oh.
I felt like they didn't see the same Captain America: Brave New World that we did, because I'm like, what are you seeing, like with some of the points that they were making. I don't want to dive too much into it, but like one of the points were like they had too many subplots, and I'm like, what?
Well,
I
because
all
of
the
the reshoot.
subplots.
Like, so the Serpent Society wasn't. It didn't need to be in the movie because they removed like three other characters from the
I
original
disagree on that one.
script.
Yeah.
But it would. I think you can have any other person do that. Be the Serpent that role, or just one villain and not have it be the Serpent Society. You get what I'm saying? Like the Serpent Society itself, and Giancarlo Esposito's role as Sidewinder didn't need to be in the movie for it to progress the way it did. It could have been any other person, and it didn't need to be Serpent Society.
Let me ask you this: do you think Serpent Society is gonna show up in any other project, or you think this is it?
I I don't think it's going to show up again. No, so I think it's a waste. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree. Yeah, no, I don't see that. I think it was put in for that reason. I think either we're gonna see it later or it's gonna come up some way. And the reason I said that it was needed was because it was part of the leader's plan to get Japan divided by having it stolen from the Serpent, or having Serpent Society steal it and then blame it on the U.S. when it's not the U.S. And then, I mean, it gave us a great action scene between Cap and Sidewinder.
I get that, yes, but
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying is like take Sidewinder and Serpent Society, plug them out, and put in a rogue Black Widow agent. You know, take that person out and plug in any other thing other than Serpent Society that we don't care about. Versus the Serpent Society is a relevant threat and often goes against the Avengers. You get what I'm saying? So I think this could have the Serpent Society would have been ideal to have go up against the Young Avengers in an eight episode.
So your like grief with this is that you felt like it was too small of a role for Serpent Society.
Correct, because they could have.
Oh, okay.
And the
I
initial
thought
thing
you see
before was
originally.
there was more focus on the Serpent Society, and I can't remember the other actor's name. He's an MMA fighter. That his whole role was just cut and replaced by Giancarlo Esposito, and then two other people that were supposed to be in like be Serpent Society head people, like on the main council, that were gonna have active roles, and their entire role got cut after reshoots.
Hmm. See, originally I thought you were saying that whole part of the movie, that like that whole subplot be taken out. That's what I was getting from what you were saying. But you're saying
It
the
was
Serpent
watered
Society
down.
themselves.
It was
Okay.
that was watered down from what it
Okay.
originally. Now, do I think Giancarlo Esposito killed it? Absolutely. I love the guy.
Yeah, the Duke murders everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. And now him joining the MCU. He was in the Star Wars universe. Now he's in the MCU. Like I love it. I'm all
Yeah,
for it. I just
yeah.
think the Serpent Society, Sidewinder, and all of those characters carry more of a burden in the MCU. Where I would like. I don't know if we're gonna see them again.
So then that being said, maybe this was just a tease or a taste of them, so that later on in a different project we do see them in a grander role, and we have a knowledge or a background of the Serpent Society. Like, oh, we know what they are, and instead of wasting time in a film to build that.
Prior to Robert Downey Jr. being casted, and Doomsday and Secret Wars being the main focal point of the end of this saga, I would have agreed with you. But I don't anymore because after those two movies, everything we're seeing now, if it like the end credit scene directly tied into Doomsday, perfect,
Yeah, for sure. Uh-huh.
awesome, and
Uh-huh.
I'm with it. But like these small little sub stories in these movies are irrelevant because after the worlds collide in Secret Wars and no new universe that we live in, then it's just torn to shreds. So that's why nothing. That's why I feel like we could have saved Serpent Society for when it got rebooted. Because the Serpent
Fair enough.
Society we'll get is not going to be this. It's not going to be Giancarlo Esposito, and it's not going to be anything else.
Again, maybe that is the case, and it's just so that people know who they are, and it's less of them having to tell the story of who they are in a separate film, because then that frees up more storyline for other plots or what have you.
I hear
But
you on that.
either
That's
way,
legit. I like that. Yeah, that,
yeah,
if that's the goal for what Kevin's thinking of doing, then yeah, I'm with it.
yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
yeah. So the movie
Oh wait, so before
starts.
we keep going,
Yeah.
we gave the ratings that IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes
Oh yes, yes, yes,
are
yes.
stones. So I'm gonna
Yes, stone
kick off.
ratings. Good.
Yeah, I think I ended up saying 4.5 is what I told you. Yeah,
Yes, four
four
and
and
a
a
half
half stars.
stones. Yeah, you gave it.
I liked the movie a lot. It wasn't a bad movie at all. There's some.
So you thought it was really good. Like not good, but really good. Okay.
It was good. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was. I think what kept it from a five was, like I said, you can
The
tell the
reshoots.
obvious
The.
reshoots hurt the
Mm-hmm.
movie a bit. And then the ADR that happened, it wasn't as obvious as Craven, but there's some ADR
Mm-hmm.
where like Rogers, not Rogers, Sam Wilson has his back, and then you hear him talking, or Joaquin is talking at the computer, and then it switches to something else, and you can tell it's they switched.
Recorded it after.
Yeah, they changed the shot so that they can add in the
But that's the kind that you preferred. That you even said that in Craven. You're like, that's the ADR we should get.
correct. Agreed.
Yeah.
And I don't have an issue with the ADR. I'm just saying I noticed it that it happened versus
Oh yeah, that's in every film though.
yeah, but they
Yeah,
had fake
that's
lips over.
correct. Yeah, but that's in every film. That's honestly, I think that's part of the movie process. Honestly, it's
Unfortunately,
hard. It's hard to get a movie where you that's not necessary at all.
yeah,
You're always gonna have someone talking off camera or stuff like that. I think it adds more to the world that they're trying to set up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there are people talking to you that you don't look at necessarily. I feel like that's the kind of feel that they're trying to give us.
yeah. I hear you.
Um, yeah. But all right. I'm gonna actually give it 5 stones. I thought it was great. Like I said, the action was pretty solid. You know what I mean? I'm an action guy. I could have used a little bit more.
I agree.
But the action that was in it was sufficient. It was like enough to keep us going, keep us engaged. But again, I felt like this one was it was kind of keeping that tone, and we talked about this. It had the tone of Winter Soldier a little bit. But I feel like it was following more in the footsteps of the first Avenger, where it was the leader of the film was the storytelling,
Yeah,
especially with Isaiah, and I mean Sam Wilson's the counselor. You know what I mean? So a lot of his movie or a lot of to deal with him are gonna be talking points, are gonna be discussions with people, and him
right.
him not just trying to punch and shield people, to submission. He's gonna try to talk them down like he did with Red Hulk. Which that was the way to. I feel like it's the only way he was gonna beat Red Hulk.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Red Hulk was basically Bruce Banner with Scarlet Witch spell. You know what I mean? He was just unhinged. He's going after it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought you were going to say Red Hulk was basically Bruce Banner and Falcon was Natasha, where she's like, the sun's getting really low, buddy.
I thought honestly during the film I was like, is he gonna jokingly say like the sun's getting real low? Uh, I thought he was gonna try it and then like maybe Red Hulk throw a car at him and like fuck the sun. You know what I mean? Like something
Like
like
a
that.
gag joke? Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, like a gag joke. Like, all right, that's not gonna work. I would have loved that. I think the fans would have got a kick out of that, honestly.
Agreed.
Uh, but yeah, it was like I said, the plot wasn't hard to follow. It made sense. It was him doing a little bit of detective work. Having that introducing Joaquin Torres as Falcon was great. I thought his Falcon, he did a good job at it.
hmm
Isaiah brought that emotion, the drama to it.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford fucking killing it. Did his thing in this movie. I thought he did a great job as Ross. And you were incorrect in saying Bucky was a congressman. He is running for Congress in this film.
Correct.
He is not a congressman yet.
Yeah.
Which who's not gonna vote for that guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Which
ending
I
in
have
the
a
right
little
line, he's a killer assassin, so
he's exonerated. He was pardoned.
accurate, but it's still there. He still has.
Yeah, that was still his past. Yeah, but I
Well, what
mean,
are you
we all
going to tell
got
this
past.
congressman? No. You know?
Yeah, exactly,
Exactly.
exactly. Which I don't know. I got a little beef with Bucky right now because literally, the wife in the theater audibly went when she saw him on screen. I was like, the guy next to us laughing because he heard Christina. Like, I'm like, really? I'm like, on Valentine's Day, sitting next to your husband, you're gonna at another man.
That's
It's like,
funny.
damn, I bought you roses for this.
We saw it on
But-
Thursday, premiere day, right before Valentine's Day, and we went with
Mhm.
all the kids, and then my sibling Bobby went. So Bobby was
Nice.
sitting next to the big girls, Sophia and Isabel,
Mhm. Yeah.
and how cute it was to see the girls, like they would see like Joaquin, and then they would see Sebastian Stan too, and they'd be like, "Ooh, who's that? Who's that?" And like Isabel watches the movies because we make her go, but she
Yeah,
enjoys
yeah.
the movie afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, she definitely enjoys the movies afterwards, but she's not jumping with joy to go see a Marvel movie until after
Right.
seeing it. And then she's like, "Oh, that was a good movie." Um,
Yeah.
So Sophia's always explaining a lot to her. So Bobby
Ah.
was telling me that, every time somebody different would pop up, Isabel would be like, "Who's that?" And Sophia would be like, "Oh, that's Bucky." She's like, "Who's Bucky?" The Winter Soldier. So like, it was cool that
Yeah.
Bobby was telling me that it was cool that Sophia was able to spit out all this facts about everyone that's popping up, and I was
Yeah, she's just taking the mantle of the next generation. She's basically Sam Wilson to your fucking Steve Rogers. Yeah.
she's
I love
a
it.
little nerd with the knowledge. Yeah, so it's pretty.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
It's cool that but like even with that, like it's slowly growing into our oldest, our teenager, just like because it's hard to not be interested into this cool, complex story and all these movies. So that's cool
Yeah.
to see it. And then obviously, the twins were super excited to go see it. More
Nice.
surprisingly, Mia, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Captain America."
Really?
You wanna see it?" She's like, "Yeah, let me
Sweet.
see it." I saw the trailer, and me and Sandy are like, "Oh, okay." So, and then I think something happened in the movie where she was like, "Yeah, I saw that in the trailer." And Sandy's like, "You saw that where?" She's like, "In the trailer. I saw it in the trailer already." So Sandy was surprised on something.
Was it the car, the way he split the car in half?
I don't remember what scene it was that she had saw. Oh yeah, when he hulks out, when he turns into.
Oh, when he hulks out at the press conference?
Yeah, at the podium.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, "Oh
Nice.
yeah, I know. I saw the trailer." And Sandy's like, "Oh, I didn't know."
That's
It was
cute.
It's cute to see the kids start enjoying.
Nice.
My Marvel. I'm infecting them well with all this Marvel stuff.
Speaking of Hulk out, now I'm sure we all have to suspend disbelief on this. But my whole thing with the Hulk, any Hulk hulking out, how is it they break out of every article of clothing, but their pants are staying there with them? I can't fit into my size 32 jeans right now without what? Why did I just get? I guess they're celebrating me saying that. So I,
What
I
was
yeah,
that?
like it was like fireworks. They're really behind me on this. Yeah, I can't fit into my 32 jeans without busting out of them, like or ripping the seam. But this dude hulks out, breaks out of his shoes, jacket, all that good stuff. His pants are just still on.
I must be
What?
them stretchy jeans.
Uh, I don't know what kind of stretchy jeans you got going, or stretchy dress pants the president's wear. I don't know. Uh,
Because
but
all my
speaking of the
jeans are
Hulk,
the flex, like the flex material one, so that they are stretchy.
yeah. But if you had to Hulk out, they ain't staying with you, dude. They're not. I don't care how much they stretch. But I guess Disney can't
What is
have
going
Hulk.
on? Why is this? You saw the thumbs down just pop up right now on your screen?
Am I? No, I didn't see it. I didn't catch
It's
it.
weird. I don't know what that's about.
It's whenever we do hand gestures on the screen, so we can't put our hands on the screen. So
It didn't work. No, I didn't do it. That was
see, this is the technical difficulties we have when we're doing it over video chat. But speaking of the Hulk, I did enjoy the way that they wrote this Red Hulk. As far as like how he became Red Hulk, of him being hidden, or it being hidden in his pain meds and stuff like that.
yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting way to bring in Red Hulk, and
Yeah.
that because I'm not familiar with the comics in Red Hulk. I don't know, but I think Ross volunteers for it, right? In the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So this was a new take on it. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the way that they brought it in.
Yeah, I like the way. Yeah, I
It
agree.
played to the story.
I really like the leader. I thought he was a solid villain.
Yeah, I was a tiny bit disappointed with his look.
Really?
I wanted more. Yeah, I wanted more cranium, like not Megamind, but like like a larger head. Because
Like he
if
does
you,
yeah.
yeah, like if you remember the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, when he is getting the blood dropped on his head, his cranium is growing.
Yes.
So like when we got here, it was funny because he kind of reminded me of the like gonna vomit emoji because of how all green he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. Like his look made sense and it played to the character. Like he's got gamma poisoning and what it did. But to me, it just looked like his brain just grew a bit and it just like surpassed the bone in a way. But it just looked like his brain swelled up. Not he got a huge cranium from the gamma poisoning.
I get you.
It was a very little. It's nitpicky. But
I'm not
yeah,
against
I thought
how he looked, but I wasn't like, oh my god,
again
this looks the best.
same. Yeah, no, same. I wasn't. I wasn't like, oh, that looks like shit. I was just like, oh, I was hoping for a little bit more. That's all.
Yeah, I hear you
Yeah.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. It didn't matter much to me, honestly. I think
He was mostly in the shadows anyway. Yeah.
correct. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the beginning, not the direct beginning, but the first, I don't know, I guess big scene we get is Ross addressing, higher ups and bigwigs and telling them about adamantium.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, sir.
Okay.
What's the name of the guy that was in charge of Project X-23, or what is it?
Oh, William Stryker?
Stryker. That's his name. Do you think Stryker was in that room?
Hmm.
I think he was. It's talking about adamantium. Who better to be in that room than Stryker?
We don't know if the mutants exist. So Stryker.
Correct.
Stryker's son
We don't
was a
know.
mutant. Right.
Right.
Stryker's son was a mutant. So he goes on this hellbent thing because he has a vendetta against mutants. and so his origin.
Here's the thing, though.
No, because he wouldn't be as interested in adamantium or mutants because the
Well,
mutants don't exist right now.
but here. Stay with me. So we don't know, as far as the MCU thus far doesn't know that mutants exist, but we could come to find out that they have this whole time, and it just hasn't reached us yet. It hasn't reached the public eye in the MCU yet. So this could be happening, in a not too distant past. And William Stryker is now on the hunt, or he's now at that stage where he's trying to work on the Project X. Was it X-23? Right?
No,
So
it's Weapon X program.
Weapon X, sorry. X-23 is his daughter. That's why I keep getting that. Okay. Yeah, I think that the fanboy in me is going to say he was in that room. And I think if he is in that room, we're going to get that, remember when Mysterio, what's the guy's name? Quentin Beck was photoshopped into Civil War, being backstage of Tony's MIT speech.
The barf.
Yeah, barf. Yeah, I think we can get a photoshopped scene of him in that room.
I'm
just saying, I think that's something that could play.
I don't think they're gonna introduce William Stryker yet. Because
oh no, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying I think he was in that room. We saw a bunch of generals in there. Not a bunch, but we saw some generals in there. We saw, heads of state, all that stuff. So I don't know. A theory of mine is saying that he was in that room.
it'd be interesting how they would tie that all together. I just think that should be the least of their worries. William Stryker shouldn't be a focal point. Establishing Eric as a Holocaust survivor, and Raven and Xavier meeting each other at a young age and growing up the way they did. That is a focal point for the X-Men.
Yeah, by all means, I don't think that Stryker should be a focal point. I just think it'd be a cool little tie-in to, he was there. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, it doesn't even have to be a full scene. It could just be part of a dialogue. Him saying, I was there when Ross was, shot that assassination attempt on Ross. I was in that room. Stuff like that. I don't know. I just think it's a cool theory. I don't know.
It'd be cool. I don't know how they would tie that into the grand scheme, but again,
fair point.
Certain theories, I mean, no one really knows because they're gonna blow it all up soon. So we'll see what happens.
Sure. Yeah. What did you think of? We now know vibranium can hurt a Hulk because Sam's wings were. I thought it was really cool that the Wakandans gave him the Black Panther kinetic energy tech.
Yeah,
in his wings. That was sick because we hadn't seen that before.
Agreed.
So
it gave him an ability that he hadn't had in the past in comics. So I think that was pretty cool.
Well, in comics, correct me if I'm wrong, he had actual wings, no?
What do you mean?
He can fly himself. Is that not correct? Like he didn't have a suit. It was the wings were a part of him, no?
No, they're not a part of him.
No? Oh, okay. I thought in the comics it was him that could fly.
It was.
Or could he talk?
Older
falcons, birds?
He could talk to a falcon. He did have a red wing. A real.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, that might be what I was confusing.
Comics, like the if I almost fell out. What is it called? The Ultimate Comics. He had a suit technically and helped him fly. He had wings and everything too, but it was projection based, not magic powers to fly like that.
Okay. I still thought it was cool him being able to go mock. I think could he always do that or no? No, right? Because he didn't ever have the headgear to do that.
Suit, the adamantium suit, yeah.
Well,
the vibranium suit, sorry.
Yeah, but Joaquin could do it also, and he had his old tech. He had his old suit.
He didn't break the sound barrier.
Joaquin went Mach with him. Did he not? I thought he went fast with him because he even had the same helmet. He had the helmet that came all the way down. Maybe not covered his mouth, but it came down.
I don't remember that.
Joaquin's mask. It was here, and then it came down here, like his mouth.
Oh,
was
that I
straight.
remember, but I don't remember
Yeah.
Joaquin going Mach.
I just remember him flying with him fast.
Not that fast.
Like no, like in the at the Celestial Island. Oh, but they never went Mach. They never went Mach
not
there.
there, no.
You're right. Yeah, I think the only time we saw Cap go Mach was in the beginning when he was going after the adamantium, right? That was stolen.
Right.
That's the only time we saw him go Mach. Fair point. Okay, that was still dope. Where he landed, and then he's like, "Wait for
He's
it."
like, wait for it.
The aftershock. Yeah, that was dope. Christina was like, when she landed, she was like, "Ooh," like because his knee, like just that force coming down. I'm like, well, the wings help. She goes, but still, I'm like, imagine him coming down and landing, doing his superhero landing, and then his knee just lands on a little pebble rock. Imagine the hurt that must be. Well, you probably felt it already with your injury. You're like, that's not fun. It's not fun. That'd just be funny of him. I picture just Cap on the ground like Peter Griffin, just just I mean, any other cool moments of the film that you really liked?
I'm glad that we finally they addressed that the Celestial is in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
4
agreed.
years since the last time we seen it. And
That's a giant thing
yeah,
to not bring up again,
exactly.
for 4 years.
I think Harrison Ford, great Red Hulk. Love that we got to see Betty Ross.
Yeah, very minimal, but we kind of knew that coming in.
Right.
It was still cool to see her. She still looks fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't get anything to lead up to Thunderbolts. Initially, remember I had said that this was going to be 2026 in the MCU timeline, but then they showed that the election was in 2027. So I was incorrect.
Oh, yeah. It's a little further ahead than you thought, yeah.
Yeah. So where it ends, they're in 2027. So it's months right before the event of Thunderbolts.
This is before Thunderbolts. Got you.
Yeah, this is before Thunderbolts, but now it's like a couple months, right before. So that's interesting to see that happen. I knew Bucky was going to pop up. I had said it. There's no way they don't do that.
Well, I mean, they had him in the trailer, but it was at a different setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of images we saw in the trailer didn't pan out into the movie. Like the whole thing where we saw the leader with a hat taking a picture and you see his green arm. We never saw that.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
There's quite a few pictures and images that we saw that just never panned out. But
and I don't necessarily see them as deep fakes. I think they may have just been, cut. Just
maybe. That's absolutely what happened. Yeah, it was just
yeah.
I did like how we just saw the surface of the leader's capabilities. And especially with him being so smart and the end credit. Can we talk about the end credit?
Give us a couple more minutes. There's a few more things I want to say.
Okay. I liked that he's extremely smart and he didn't have to be a physical threat, and his mental threat was more than enough, which is paid amazing homage to him in the comics. It was exactly
it reminded me of Zemo a little bit. Well, to a higher degrry, but where it's a mastermind of moves that you're doing, not attack. You know what I mean? Like they're playing chess, which is I don't know. I think it adds more to a villain. Adds a little bit more sinister to a villain. You know what I mean? Like it's because you're doing things
about brute force to have the
dude.
Heart,
yes. Which I think is what makes Thanos such a great villain, because he's doing both. He's playing chess, but he's punching the shit out of you while he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So Just a couple more things I wanted to say. The final scene was dope. We saw Joaquin go down, which was unfortunate. He got injured, but yeah, he's alive and well. So we will see him again. Um, we know that they do have adamantium weapons because one of the Serpent Society sliced Cap's vibranium suit, the white one. He sliced it right here, so we know they've already made weapons from it. Which also kind of hints to my Project X thing. I'm like, hey, somebody's out there making weapons, so maybe they're like, hey, what else can we do with this? What else? There's something else.
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
that's pre- I think
what
that's
made
pretty
me
much it.
think of the Weapon X program a little bit was the canister that had the adamantium was at like 800 degrees or whatever. But that's not hot enough to melt adamantium. Adamantium has to be like at a super ridiculous rate heat for it to
Yeah,
be. And then once you get it at that, you have to keep it at that temperature. Otherwise,
yeah,
once it
it hardens. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I was. They might just be keeping it soft to be able to like weld and mold it because they don't realize it has to be that hot to get liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Oh, like the way blacksmiths heat up something and then reshape it.
right, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with the adamantium now, or if it's a resource that they're gonna use to open portals to other universes. You know,
Okay. All right.
'cause it comes from a celestial, and it
Yeah,
has
true.
certain properties to it, since it's coming from a god essentially.
Yeah, it's a cosmic property. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There
I
could be some capabilities with that, and maybe the leader knows that.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
maybe Doom too.
All right. So before we get to that one end credit scene, there's only one, which bummer, but I think we're used to at least two, so we gotta
Yeah,
slow down with that.
yeah, yeah.
But and then they put it all the way at the end, dude.
Literally.
I'm like,
I'm okay that they only are giving one because they're not
Yeah.
giving. Because before they were giving some, and some of these end credit scenes led to zero, zilch,
Yeah.
nada. So I
Yeah,
think
they're
doing
on the
stuff
cutting room floor.
intentionally now. It's an
Yeah.
intentional end credit scene.
Yeah.
They have such a small window until Doomsday for 2026, and then Secret War
Yeah.
for 2027. That these
Everything's gonna mean
these-
something. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to mean something.
Yeah,
Or-
for
or
sure.
not.
100%.
So.
Yeah. 100%. So, a quick question. So, I saw Anthony Mackie in an interview, and it made me want to ask you this question. So, aside from the obvious heroes that like we are expecting to be in the new Avengers, because
Oh,
because President Ross asked him to start the Avengers up again.
yeah.
Now, aside from those characters that we know, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, aside from those people that we are pretty much expecting to be a part of them, what other heroes do you think Sam Wilson would ask to be in the Avengers?
Shooty. He has a good relationship with
But
them
see,
already.
you don't think that's one that's expected?
He was
I'm talking
never
about like
in the MCU. The Black Panther has never been a part of the Avengers.
I would beg to say Infinity War and Endgame he was.
I mean, they just helped each other out, but he never
I
went.
mean,
He
whether
was
you're
killing in the
yeah,
Avengers compound.
whether you sign the contract saying you're an Avenger is a different story. I'm just saying in that fight he was an Avenger.
Yeah,
He was literally avenging the planet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was an Avenger at that point. Whether they were part of the Avengers, like on a normal basis, that's a different story. But like, all right, so I mean, Shuri, okay, I'll take that. She was never technically an Avenger. What I mean to say is like characters that we aren't expecting or even haven't even seen yet. What characters would you think Sam Wilson would?
I don't think they're going to introduce anyone new.
Again, this is completely hypothetical, not in the MCU. I'm saying who do you think Sam Wilson, the character, who do you think he would ask? Let's just say in the comics, who do you think he would ask? Can I tell you one of mine?
Sure.
I think he would ask Daredevil. Where he would come in contact, I have no fucking clue, but I'm just gonna go Daredevil. I'm gonna say he has feelers out, or he's like scoping out heroes, hearing what people are doing here and there. I'm gonna go Daredevil, and then I'm gonna say he's maybe going away from Bruce. Maybe he asks She-Hulk, Jennifer. Yeah, those are two picks.
I don't think. I think he's gonna ask General Ross. I think for the
Red Hulk.
I think he's gonna ask Red Hulk to be part of this one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Well, yeah, he's not president anymore.
No.
Yeah. Anybody else that you could think of?
Nothing like everyone I'm thinking are already established characters because I don't see them creating.
Miles Morales.
He doesn't exist.
Correct. Again, I'm not saying like specifically MCU.
I get
I'm
it.
just saying, who do you think Sam Wilson would?
Well, in the comics, then he had the superior Iron Man. He had Thor. He had Storm. So in the Secret Wars comics, he was and he had War Machine behind him.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't War Machine. I lied. Who else did he have?
He's got to ask Riri, Ironheart. I feel like he would ask her. No. I'm talking about like Sam Wilson. In my hypothetical,
Okay.
I think he's got to ask her.
I don't like hypothetical. I
my God. Have fun for once, dude.
I
just
do.
let your mind wander.
My patilla. I was having fun.
Yeah, but I was just talking about like going to Fantasyland for a second. Just who do you think? All right, let me ask you this: who do you think? Let me change the question. Who do you think would pair with Sam Wilson's Captain America in an Avengers team? Just go 6 Avengers.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Well,
six Avenger members. Who are they with Sam Wilson? Who do you think pairs with him best?
Red Hulk for sure.
Okay.
And I think he's gonna probably choose Shang-Chi, Shuri, and then that's 4, right?
Correct. 2 more.
Captain Marvel and War Machine.
Okay. Yeah, War Machine probably most definitely because he was even in Falcon and Winter Soldier series, so that's probably playing out. Okay. Nice. Interesting.
All right. I don't know. I'm so pushed into trying to figure out where the MCU is going to go and what these final things are going to be right before Doomsday. I purposely have these like blinders of how horse have.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I asked this question, because I wanted to kind of get you out of that for a second and just have fun with like hey, what do you think of what do you think would happen with this? Or I know you're not going for it. You're a bum. But yeah. So all right. So let's talk about the end the end credit scene. So the leader's locked up in a prison where he gets no lab and can't even probably make a phone call.
Well, he's in the rat.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So he's in that kind of prison where security's tight, because I mean he did a lot from his original prison cell. I mean he found a way to hypnotize people with just flashing lights in a song.
Yeah, but he had a whole
laboratory
to play with.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. So he could still do a lot from technically behind bars.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he had some leeway for sure, but I mean being able to hypnotize people for just lights in a song, that's genius shit. Yeah, hell yeah.
And I love that he used the song Mr. Blue because that was his code, Mr. Blue, in the
when talking to Ed Norton. Yeah. It's Bruce on the dark web chat or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he talks to Sam, and Sam's, I forget what Sam's trying to get out of him, or I guess trying to figure out what he's still up to, or just to brag that his plan didn't work.
Yeah,
It was more. It was more to boast that he was wrong, that Sam lived, right?
yeah,
Than anything. And then the leader says, you haven't seen everything I can do, and I've seen it all. And he leads into, he goes, "What's coming? You guys aren't. What did he say? You're not ready for it, or you're something like that, right?"
yeah.
And then he leads to what I took as Battle World, right?
Um, well, I think he was.
Or at least Secret Wars.
Well, yes, but I think he's talking about an incursion.
Okay.
Oh, an incursion is when two universes are colliding, and
Right, right.
now two Earths are going to collide. So the only way to stop an incursion is to destroy one or the other Earth or both. And that's what I think he's talking about. So the fight
Okay.
against another Earth's Avengers.
Because he said the others. So, yeah, it could be the other universe.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we get, or don't we have some knowledge that an incursion is going to happen in 616?
We don't. We just know that an incursion occurred in Clea's universe in her dark dimension, but we don't.
Uh-huh.
She's like, you're whatever you did caused an incursion in my universe, essentially. But
At the end of Multiverse of Madness, right? With
in
Doctor
her
Strange?
own
Yeah.
universe, in her own little thing, far away.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that it has to do with us, but I think there are other versions of it happening.
Okay. Huh.
But we'll get those answers soon,
Yeah.
very soon.
All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I think we'll get some answers in Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, we got Thunderbolts coming out first. You don't think we're going to get something in that? That's probably going to lead to a different project, right?
Say it again.
Any end credit that they have will probably lead to a different project, right?
No, if we do, it'll be in an end credit, just how we just did in Brave New World.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. You think we will?
So if they do, it'll only be in an end credit. The plot of the movie won't tie into the grand scheme.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Yeah, 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 absolutely not. But so do you think end credits from here on out until Doomsday are going to have to deal with that?
Absolutely.
The same way the Infinity Saga, anything to do with Thanos dealt with like in end credits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's I'm on board with that. I think that's I don't see any plots. Huh?
That formula worked because they got away from that, and all the other end credits were leading to like this movie and then that movie and then nothing.
Yeah. I think they had more, they were trying to tie in other projects too much. And then when certain projects fall flat or got pushed, then it messed everything up. And then they were like, all right, well, we're setting up too much for this, and we got to get away from that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Nice. All right. I mean, any last points on Captain America Brave New World?
No, I like I said, 4.5 stones. Enjoyed the movie. No real big feedback. Just an entertaining, action-packed film.
Yeah.
Something that the MCU has needed for a while.
Yeah.
Like, just a solid movie. Like we're not, none of this. Like, oh, MCU fell off. Oh, we're back. Like this is just a classic good MCU movie.
Yeah. Can we get away from that already? Can we just either it was good or bad? Why MCU fell off? Why is it bad? Like, it's not leaving. It's still here. Can we just go to like you liked it or you didn't like it? Can we enough with this shit already?
Yeah.
It's getting annoying. Like we saw, I shared a reel to you, right, of a guy going like MCU fans right now, and it was like, we're back. Oh, fell off. We're back. Oh, it's still back. We fell off. We're back. I was like, son of a. It was 100% like, yeah, it really is. So yeah, I mean, if you all enjoyed it as much as we did, let us know in the comments, or even if you didn't, if you agreed like with the critics, let us know. We have the rest of Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Goosebumps is the other project, right? Or am I wrong on that?
Yes,
Yeah, we got the Goosebumps on Disney Plus. What is it called? Vanishing or something like that? What is it?
I don't remember.
It's something like that. It's the new Goosebumps on Disney Plus. So if you guys haven't watched that, watch that. Because we're gonna give you guys a review on it. We don't know how we're gonna set that up. We don't know if we're gonna do just a whole season.
Yeah, I think the
We're
first
gonna
season probably be the best
we'll
one.
talk. Yeah, we'll talk that out a little bit more amongst ourselves. But yeah, we want to thank you all for joining us yet again. And Geek, even though you're hobbled right now, I'm still with you.
To the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.